And we're going to do this project in the program Scratch, and this is Scratch. Okay, and when you first open up Scratch, it always has, it looks the same, it looks like this, but then it always has this cat shows up. And the cat is actually the thing you make do stuff in Scratch. The white background is called the stage, and that's where things are, that's like the context, or the world around it. And for this project, the first thing we want to do is cut out the cat, because we're going to make our own. Okay, so I just deleted the cat by right-clicking on it. So the next thing I'm going to do is make a new one, and if I go down to this button, I click it once.
Right click or left click?
Left click, or I just click it. That's so funny. I never think about the right and left unless I'm explicitly doing the left. So I click that button. It puts up this window. It's they call it the paint editor. I just call it the paint box. And for this project, what I'm going to do is just draw a face. Just so you know that when you want to create your own sprite, you have these paint tools, and it can draw something very simple. And for All About Me, we're having people do a caricature of themselves. And some people are comfortable with drawing, and some people are not. And what I normally would say is, if you don't feel comfortable drawing yourself, then use a metaphor like a tree or a butterfly or a dog or a horse or whatever it is you want to draw. Just draw something that represents you, or draw, try to make a drawing of yourself.
Did you call it a sprite?
I call it sprite when we first started, because in Scratch, a sprite is anything that you can program on the screen to make it move.
All right. So
I'm just drawing the way I draw.
Wow, it's cool. The lines don't have to be connected.
Right, they don't. And then I'm kind of drawing the outline of my face. I like using orange for my hair. Right now my hair is short, so I'm not going to make it. I'm just going to kind of scribble it. My hair is curly, so it's easy to do. And I just have been discovering grays for the first time, so I'm going to add some gray hair. There's one. My eyes are blue, so I'm just going to draw on eyes. There's an eye. There's an eye. I have a pretty small nose, so I'm going to draw a little nose. And then I'm going to draw my mouth really small, but I have a little mustache and beard that go around him. So I'll scribble out a little funny beard and mustache. And it's kind of straggly. So, and then the other next thing to note is the checker box means that you can see through it. So I want to fill in the face with some skin. So watch this. I'll go to this. It's called the paint bucket. Click it. I'm going to pick kind of a pinkish color because my skin's sort of pinkish. I'm going to take that, once I pick that color over here, take it here, and I'm going to dump it in my face with this little paint buckety thing. Now watch, it's going to leak out. There's a hole right here. Yeah,
that's what I was noticing before. Your lines weren't connected.
Yeah, they don't know that. And I'll pour it and just show you can undo. So oh no, it leaked out.
That's
okay,
right.
Don't freak out. Don't worry. You just click undo. And what do I do to fix that? I'm going to go use the paintbrush, the black line, and fill in that hole.
So you do need to fill it in. It needs to be a closed line to hold your colors.
Yeah, and everywhere. You can see there's a closed shape here. So, and I have a leak right here. See that?
Oh yeah.
So it should fill in this area around my mouth too. So I'll try again. Paint bucket, pink, click. There, that looks good. And I'm not going to be any more details. So once I'm kind of happy with it, it's okay. I look heavier than I want to. I don't care. I'm going to click OK. All right? So now this is a sprite, just like your cat was before. If I do this, I can kind of drag it around. And it's something to do something on the screen. So in this project, what we also do is we make this sprite move. We're going to animate it, and we're going to actually have it do word balloons. So we'll make it seem like it's talking. So I'm going to go from here, see I'm in the sprite. From here, I'm going to go up to costumes, click it, and I have a costume right here. The sprite can be any costume or any shape. Sprite's actually an invisible thing. but it has to have at least one costume. I'm going to give it 2 because I want to do an animation. It's really easy. I copy it. So here's a costume, here's a costume. If you've ever done a flip book, you know it only takes a little movement to flip between 2 pictures to make it look like it's animated.
Right.
So that's what I'll do.
Why do you call it a costume?
That's the name they gave it.
So it's a sprite that you're going to make it a costume.
Right. There's always confusion about what a sprite is. A sprite is actually just a place on the screen that you can program, and then we put stuff on it to make it visible. And in this case, a costume.
Oh.
You know, it's kind of abstract, but does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. It's just a thing, and to be able to see it, you draw a picture. And it could be a bug, it could be my face, it could be a tree.
I understood that part.
Okay. So now, since I have the copy, I'm going to actually edit the copy. I'm going to click it. I'm just going to make some real subtle changes. I don't make big dramatic changes because in animation, animations tend to be smoother if you make little tiny changes and then make another copy and little tiny changes. You inch along. But some people love to do dramatic ones. You can make this crazy looking. Watch what I do. I'm going to actually click on the eyedropper. I'm going to click on the pink so I know what color it is, and then I'm going to use the paintbrush to paint out these eyebrows. Because I'm going to change the way the eyebrows look. That's subtle. And then I'm going to change the mouth. Okay, I look terrible right now. I'm going to go back to black, paintbrush, and now I'm going to make the eyebrows expressively somehow different. And I know my mouth was small before, so how about if I open my mouth up as if I'm talking? I'm going to make just a little subtle thing here. I think I want my mouth just a little bigger. Now I'm going to click OK, watch. So I made subtle changes here. If I click between the two, we'll see if it works. Click. See the change?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to get into computer programming. To do that, to get it to do this stuff automatically, you click on this called scripts, and then you get into this stuff. And these are program blocks. These are the things that tell it what to do. We're going to use very specific ones for this. One is going to look at the costume, and one is going to look at time. So first I'm going to go to the looks block, and I'm going to pull out a block that says switch to costume, and it has this label, costume 2. Well, if you look at costumes, they have a name, costume 1, costume 2. Okay? And if I click on it, it flashes white and nothing happens. Well, I'm going to take another one out, put it right here. I'm going to click down, change this to costume 1. I wonder what would happen if I click here. It changes. So these things tell this thing what to do. So to happen sequentially, I could just put them together. They'd stick together. And I click on it, and it seems like nothing's ever happening. I've never seen costume 2. That's because it's changing so fast. So to slow it down, we pull them apart, go up here, pull out a weight, and stick it inside. So
you went to your control section. First was looks, and now you click control to find that weight.
And what's cool is they're color coded too, so you can see the difference in the color. So you kind of this has purple has something to do with the way it looks or appears, and this weight, this stuff has something to do with what the program does and when.
All these control elements.
So I'm going to stick another one down here. They kind of have a rhythm, right? Switch to costume 1, switch to costume 2, wait a little bit, and I'm going to snap them together. And now when I click on them, I click on them. Okay, I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to add a forever so it does it all the time. I come over here, grab a forever, put it around it. Now if I click on this, now this is the art. The art of it is that it actually, it's working, but it doesn't feel right to me. I'm aiming for something, so I want to change, I want to shift from how to do it to how it's working for me personally. And I want to shorten up that time because I want it to seem like it's talking. So the only way you can do that is you go over here, click on that number, and I'm going to go 0.2. That's 0.2 of a second. See how it jumps on one side? Okay, so it's showing one costume for a longer time and one costume for a shorter time. I want them to be even, because that to me will look better. And now I'm talking. It seems a little fast, so what do? Go back, 0.4. I'll just slow it down just a little bit. Now it seems like it's doing the right thing for me. Finally, what I want to do is put something, it's called the green flag block. You stick it on top. If I click this stop sign right now, then see the green flag there? If I click here, it'll run. So anything with the green flag will start up.
It's like a start block. It gives you that control on the screen itself to start it itself.
This right here.
So it just basically creates an icon on the start-stop controls on your screen.
Right. Yeah. So now it's doing what I want. It's moving fast. The next thing I want to add in is some words, because remember, it's all about me. So I want to write. I want to write some words that this mouse says, and in my case, I'm just going to tell it to tell me my name. You find this under looks, and there's these really great blocks. It says say hello for 2 seconds, and if I click on that, there's the little hello bubble. Well, I want it to say hello, my name is Keith, so I'm going to go get a couple more of them. Snap that on there. Snap that on there. I don't know. I'll use this many. And then in these blocks, I can change the words. My name is Keith. And I like that exclamation point. So and I wrote my name wrong, just like people do. So I can fix misspellings. Now watch what happens.
Too slow.
It works.
It definitely works.
But it doesn't seem right.
But it doesn't seem right.
So that's the art. Make it work and then adjust it. So let's put a forever around it so I can play with that timing. All right? If I do this, it's
so you see it as a block by grouping it. You basically group those. What did you call these again? You group the.
There's say blocks.
Say blocks. Group the say blocks if it's a sentence or whatever you want to hold together, and then now you're going to time it.
Right. Now watch. So words don't seem. I know is not for 2 seconds. Why don't I put a half second? A great way to figure out how long a word takes is say the word out loud.
Right.
Is. Well, maybe that's 0.2 of a second. I'm not sure. Hello. That seems like that's a second. My name, a little longer than hello, so I'll go 1.5. This is I'm just guessing, okay? And if you look up here, you can see that the timing is changing right away. Is seems like it goes, watch this, is Keith. It seems maybe that's too short because it doesn't linger on is, so maybe I'm going to linger it. So I'm going to go 0.8. And I like how long it kind of stays with Keith. And there was one other thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to pause before it's talking again. It seems to go right back into hello. So I'm going to do a trick. Click looks, click this, put it under here. Say nothing. It's got nothing in there. My name is Keith. Watch. So now I've got a program that seems to be running, and let's stop everything. I'll click this. Oh, look, I don't have a green cap on here, so I should stick another green cap on here. And that would mean that anything, when I click the green flag, will run at the same time. All right, so we're just about done with our project. We're gonna We're going to add one more element, and this is going to be a background because I have this floating head. It's like the Wizard of Oz, and I actually want to have the head somewhere. So that's called the stage. I'm going to stop stuff so you can see what I mean. And I'm now going to see this blue line. I'm going to move over to the stage, and I'm going to click on it.
Where did you find stage again? Was it just always sitting there?
This has always been here. Yep.
All right.
And then this is always down. Whatever sprites you have on the screen, they're all down here, and then the stage is here. And you see how there's no scripts? That's because the stage can have its own scripts. That didn't lose these scripts. This little head has its own scripts. Now on the stage, I can choose or create backgrounds. So I'm going to click once, and I'm going to import just to show that Scratch has all sorts of backgrounds. So I'm here in this blank stage. I click the button that says import, and then I have a choice of example backgrounds that Scratch comes with. Comes with all sorts of things, but it has these pictures, and I think I'm going to go in nature. So I'm going to double click, and it see all these different scenes.
I'm imagining a yellow head floating in.
A yellow head floating in the ocean might just be
a pink head floating anywhere.
Be just as bad, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to put myself on the moon.
That's good.
Okay, so a head floating on the moon. I will be the head over here in the moon. And that's all it took. I click import. I find, you can click on this button over here. It'll get you to the general directory. You have all these different types of backgrounds. You can choose whatever you want. If I chose another one right now, it adds it down here. Okay, so I can find this again because I've imported it. And here I am on the moon. And then I'm going to click this play button. And now,
if you wanted to, you could go back and play with your looks on the two different ones, or to time it so that it goes with the words if you wanted to, correctly?
Yeah, correct? So at any point you can always, I'm going to stop it, watch. I'm going to go click on this sprite. I'll just do something that I noticed. I say my name is Keith, but I don't say welcome to the moon or anything. I don't like say
organic. Yeah, you just came to that. You just put the moon in. So yeah.
So I'm going to put an extra block in there, and I'm going to say just that. Welcome to my home on. My home on the moon. And the other thing you might have noticed is that I can type a whole bunch of words and make a really long sentence. And this is really up to the person who's writing the script. How do they want it to talk? Do they want it to break each word into a block and sequence the time? I could also say, welcome to my home on the moon. Oop, there's a little problem with that. I'll add a space. And I have to have it linger. So watch, I have a combination of both. I'll say 3 seconds for that. When I click the green flag, you'll see that I misspelled welcome. But it gives you that sense of I can organize the information, what's happening. Yeah. I can sequence it. The blocks are pretty easy to put together, and then I can get back in and correct things, fix things, change things as much as I want. That's the project. So that's the All About Me project.